Of all the things I thought I'd see after moving to the suburbs, I never pictured police lights bouncing off my new neighbor's shutters because my wife was caught committing the crime of holding a garden hose in broad daylight. But that's life on Maple Grove Avenue for you. There we were, Sarah out front in her old fire department t-shirt, hose in hand, looking like she'd just set off some kind of suburban alarm, while Patricia Harmon, the HOA president, stood there on her perfect lawn, arms crossed, that smug little smile on her face just soaking up the chaos, thinking she'd finally got us. That smile only lasted about half a minute, though, because as soon as Fire Chief Rodriguez stepped out of his truck and spotted Sarah, you could practically feel the temperature drop 10 degrees. "Why are you interfering with our department's scheduled drill?" he asked, and I swear, Patricia looked like she'd seen a ghost. Let me back up a sec. Sarah and I had only been in Riverside's Maple Grove neighborhood for about 3 months. She'd retired early from firefighting after a knee injury, but anyone who's ever known a firefighter knows they don't just retire. She started volunteering right away, running fire safety workshops, teaching kids what to do in an emergency, basically doing what she's always done, just in a different uniform. I work from home, which means I have a front row seat for all the neighborhood drama. Believe me, there's plenty. We thought we were buying a quiet little corner of suburbia. What we didn't realize was that we'd landed right in the middle of Patricia Harmon's kingdom. She's what you'd call suburban royalty, mid-50s, dressed like a golf club hostess, HOA rule book always in hand, missed trash cans, grass half an inch too tall, wrong color mailbox. She's got a citation ready for every offense, and she loves to hand them out. The first time we ran into trouble was the second week after moving in. Sarah was outside washing fire department demo gear, prepping for a school visit. Patricia walked right over, voice sweet as spoiled milk, and tried to cite her for breaking drought rules. Sarah explained, calm as ever, that this was official equipment, demo for the kids, all perfectly above board. Patricia couldn't find anything in her precious rule book, but from that moment on, we were marked. She kept snapping photos of our sprinklers, even though we only watered on allowed days. She measured our grass with a ruler. She even complained about the volunteer parking placard on Sarah's dashboard, calling it an unauthorized vehicle modification. You'd think she had stocks in drama, but things really took off when Sarah organized a neighborhood fire safety drill. Officially approved, permits in order, flyers in every mailbox, all by the book. She planned to demonstrate extinguisher use, evacuation basics, garden hose foam techniques, real, teach your neighbors how not to burn the place down stuff. Patricia, of course, made a scene at the next HOA meeting. We cannot have people running around playing with water during a drought advisory. What kind of example does that set? Sarah, cool as always, explained the department would be using their own water supply, and that hose use would be minimal, more symbolic than anything. Most of the board seemed satisfied, but Patricia looked ready to explode. 1 gallon over the approved amount, and I'm calling the authorities, she warned, finger wagging like she was running for office. Sarah just smiled. That same smile she used to give rookie firefighters before their first real test. The day of the drill, late September, couldn't have been more perfect. Fire truck at the cul-de-sac, Captain Rodriguez running the show, families and kids out in force. Sarah was in her element, showing kids how to work a fire extinguisher, letting them try on helmets, demonstrating with a garden hose and a foam attachment how to buy time if a fire breaks out before the pros arrive. I was there, recording for the department's training files, when I noticed Patricia on her porch, phone in hand, watching like a hawk who smelled fresh prey. Sure enough, as soon as Sarah hooked up the garden hose, Patricia pounced. Suddenly, she's on the phone with 911, reporting illegal water usage and a public disturbance. She's waving her arms, loudly insisting that Sarah's wasting precious water and doesn't have a real permit. Never mind the city paperwork Sarah had emailed her 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Some folks just don't let facts get in the way of a good meltdown. Neighbors started gathering, whispering, some filming on their phones. Sarah kept her cool, finishing the demo for the kids, even as the tension built. 10 minutes later, Two patrol cars pull up, lights blazing, like we're starring in a bad cop show. Patricia meets them at a full sprint, thrusting her phone at them. That woman's been using water for 20 minutes. I demand you cite her immediately. Officer Chan, God bless his patience, looks from Patricia to Sarah to Captain Rodriguez, clearly trying to figure out what the heck is happening. That's when Fire Chief Rodriguez rolls up, takes one look at the scene, and goes straight to the officers. Can you explain why you're interrupting our scheduled public safety demonstration? Officer Williams tries to explain about the water complaint, but the chief shuts him down, and then turns to Patricia, voice like ice. Ma'am, are you the one who called in this false report? Patricia sputters. She's using water during a drought. I have it all documented. But the chief is having none of it. He points out that the drill was approved, all permits in place, and reminds Patricia that interfering with emergency personnel is, in fact, a crime. Suddenly, Patricia looks less like a queen and more like someone who just realized the whole court's turned against her. The chief asks Sarah, using her formal firefighter title, to confirm the details. 2 gallons of water, under the approved 5, she replies. The chief turns back to Patricia, explains that she's wasted city resources, interrupted a safety event, and might face charges for filing a false report. The cops confirm it. Falsely reporting to police is a misdemeanor, and she may be hearing from the DA. Then the real twist. Margaret, the shy lady 2 houses down who never says a word at meetings, suddenly pipes up. No, Patricia, you were harassing the nicest couple on our street because you're on a power trip. That broke the dam. Neighbors start sharing stories. The Girl Scout cookie ban, the tape-measured holiday lights, trying to ban kids from playing basketball after 7 p.m. The cops finish up. Chief Rodriguez thanks Sarah in front of everyone, and the patrol cars roll out. Within hours, the whole thing is on the neighborhood Facebook page, video and all. Patricia's 911 call, the chief's takedown, neighbors finally speaking out. 50 complaints hit the HOA board that night. Emergency meeting Tuesday, standing room only. One by one, folks air their grievances, some hilarious, some petty, all true. The board president, David, finally says, we need to address this. Patricia, you called the police on a city-approved event, exposed us to legal liability, and the city is reviewing your actions. Even her lawyer can't help her. The water department investigates, finds no violation, actually commends Sarah for water-wise fire safety. City council writes in, worried about HOA overreach. The board votes, quick and unanimous. Patricia loses all enforcement power, no more fines, just an advisory role till the next election. That might have been enough, but the DA does move forward. Patricia pleads no contest, gets hit with a $3,000 fine, court costs, probation, and, here's the kicker, 200 hours community service. The judge, apparently with a sense of poetic justice, assigns her to help with the fire department's public education program, under Sarah's supervision. When Patricia heard that, she turned so purple I thought she'd combust. She actually stomped her foot and shrieked, "This is unconstitutional." The judge tacked on an extra 50 hours for contempt. You know, I always thought suburban drama was all about overgrown lawns and loud leaf blowers. Turns out, sometimes, it's about standing up to bullies with clipboards and reminding your community that decency wins out, eventually. So, what would you have done in our shoes? Should HOAs have this much power, or did justice finally find its way back to Maple Grove Avenue? Share your thoughts below, because, believe me, this conversation is far from over.